Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys from the Attic. It's October again, and you know what that means? Halloween time. Time for spooky ghosts, monsters, and vampires. So for today, I thought I'd be taking a look at toybizz's Spider-Man and his Vampire Wars line. And to start that off, we'll be taking a look at Michael Morbius. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at this guy.
Michael Morbius was a Nobel Prize-winning scientist who was desperately trying to find a cure for a rare blood disease that he suffered from. While researching electroshock therapy in bats, his experiment went horribly wrong. Transformed into a pseudo-vampire, Morbius became disfigured. The transformation gave him some of the abilities of a normal vampire, like flight and super strength. However, he lacked some of the other more supernatural abilities, like controlling animals or being able to shapeshift. He also gained some of their weaknesses as well, such as the constant need to feed in order to maintain his strength and vitality. However, he has no aversions to sunlight. Being out during the day only dampers and weakens his abilities, rather than destroying him. In the Saturday morning cartoon which the toy was based off of, Morbius was not allowed to feed in the traditional sense, and the mere mention of blood was strictly prohibited. To placate the censors, Morbius would feed off of his victims through leech-like suckers on his hand, draining the plasma from their bodies.
Alright, so here we have Spider-Man and toybizz's Michael Morbius. Now I will have to admit, there are some things I really like about this guy and kind of admire, but still there's one thing about his gimmick, it's mainly his gimmick, that I just can't stand. I'll get to that a little bit later. As far as the sculpt goes, it's pretty standard. I mean, as far as toys go back in the 90s from Toy Biz, they were starting to get a lot more refined since when they did X-Men. They're getting a little bit more details. You could definitely see that there's a lot more wrinkling in here on the boots, on the shirt. And a nice little detail I like here is how each one of these veins is painted silver on his white arms. I'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, details like that could easily be overlooked. I mean, granted, yes, it is kind of a main feature of this guy with his character. The veins, you can see the blood that needs to go through them, or that they'd be really standing out. But still, in other toys, they would just kind of gloss over that, or just not even paint it at all, and just leave it to, like, just blank texturing. So I do admit that I like how they are painted silver. He has this really nice cape. Well, it's not actually a cape, it's a trench coat, but one could easily mistake it for a cape. It's made of a really nice soft plastic, and it doesn't actually hinder anything, especially with the arms and other stuff. His articulation is pretty standard. I've gone over this a million times with other Toy Biz and toys of this era. I mean, his legs can only go up and down, his knees bend, his arms go forward and up, and he has articulation at the elbows. That's about it. Yes, it does look like the head can move, but once again, that's the gimmick I don't like. But before I get into that, yes, his his jacket can come off because it is made of this soft plastic, but because of how the arms are done, it just looks weird to me. Like he has a red shirt with black sleeves. I don't know. It just looks weird to me. I mean, I would have preferred it if like the sleeves were red and it's just like a weird sleeveless coat that he has, or I don't know, or painted the shirt black as well. It would have made it a much better accessory. The other accessory he comes with is a little bat that has these weird little hook claws that can hook onto stuff, but for the life of me, I don't know where it would actually. Oh, I guess it fits right on his bicep there. Oh, the first time I've done that, I was actually trying to put it on the other arm, but it kind of just barely fits on there. Yeah, he's a vampire. He has a little bat friend right there, but that's about it. Now, as far as his gimmick goes, he has one of those rotating heads that has another head that pops up that's on the other side. You can see it's kind of hidden by this soft hair. And you just squeeze his legs and you reveal his vampire face, which is an okay vampire face. I mean, yes, it's really white and the lights right now are kind of blowing it out, but it has some little details. Let me try to get this a little bit better here. There you go. You can see the red eyes, a little bit of the fangs and other stuff, but for me, I just kind of really don't like this gimmick. It's because if you keep on doing it over and over again, or when you really need it, the head's gonna do this. You can see it's just a split head right down the center. I just don't like this gimmick. I've never really liked it. It's actually what kept me from buying Blitzwing from Transformers Animated. It's just I've never really liked this gimmick because of this very reason. It's either the head's also always either going to be too big, like on Man-E-Faces from He-Man, the Master of the Universe. I know he's a classic guy, but he's the only one where it kind of works. But this one, yeah, it's just you're either the head or the casing around the head is either going to be too big, or the face is going to be way super small. And it's just one of those gimmicks that I just can't stand. And when I see toys with him now, I just kind of pass on it for, well, obvious reasons. Let me try to get his cape back on here. I should have done it the other way. There we go. But as far as the rest of him goes, he's not that bad of a character. I mean, definitely kind of a little bit more show accurate as opposed to comic book accurate. This was based off the 90s Spider-Man TV series where he wasn't all in this weird black emo outfit. He did kind of have a cape and jacket. A little bit of detailing, though, from the show that I wish they would have had, and from the comics, is he doesn't have any of those little suckers on his hands. That was the main way he actually, in the show, he would actually drain plasma from people. So I wish, because this is going to be off the show, I wish he did actually have those on his arms. And now, as far as because his gimmick was that in the day he turns back into a regular guy, and then at night he turns into his vampire form, I don't know what to make of his arms, because when he's supposed to be human, they're completely white. I guess the shoulder pads or the shoulder sleeves are just so tight they're cutting off all the circulation in his hands. They're gonna die and have atrophy. He's gonna be a armless vampire. But anyways, all joking aside, this has been Toy Bizz's Michael Morbius. Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, please feel free to like, subscribe, or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future.